Everyone's like, Stu, this is the Fire Knight God. Every time I'm doing Fire Knight 25 or messing around with some champions on stream, everyone says, Stu, level up Lordly Legionary. I want to see what those 4 hits are like on his A1. Does he do big numbers? And I should have listened to you all. I should have said, all right, we'll do it right now on stream. I leveled this guy up yesterday, I want to say, and then finally completed it today. Let's look at all this gear. We've got, of course, critical damage. We've got attack here, attack on this one. He is beefed up with savage and critical damage gear, so we're trying to get as much damage as possible out of him. When we do have the 100% heal reduction, we get 2 additional hits. We get 2 hits always, then we get a 3rd hit if it's the 50% heal reduction, and then a 4th hit if we have 100% heal reduction up on the enemy. And then his A2 is sadly only a single hit. We got all those multi-hits on the A1, but we've got this single hit on the A2, 3-turn cooldown, slow speed, decreased turn meter if we get the slow speed up. Then his A3 is kind of different for somebody who does a lot of damage. We've got a reflect for everyone out there on 2 turns and a continuous heal for 2 turns on kind of a long cooldown. Fire Knight 25, reflect, big hits, multi-hit, slow speed, turn meter reduction. We've got masteries to help out with that. We're going to do additional damage with Helm Smasher. Over here in the support masteries, we're going to make sure we extend that debuff on that slow speed, and we extend our buffs that we put up with the reflect and the regen, and we get a chance to lower cooldown. Of course, we need accuracy with this guy, so I have an accuracy banner on him, and we've got total stats that are good enough to get through anything we need, all the way up to stage 25. Let's run it. No big guns on this team except for Vizix, right? As long as you have Vizix built the way I have her, and I need to do a guide still, I'm waiting to get up to Doom Tower hard, you will never be touched. You will not be touched in any of these waves. You go through smoothly. We've got our Terrell here, 2 cold hearts. I probably ran about 20 different comps today trying to get through here without an allure. But there's 12 shields. It's really hard to do. I had to bring in all these multi-hitters. Try not to bring those Seer, the Lydia, the Allure in here and then drop it down and bring him in, even though it's really hard to do with him because he doesn't have those 4 hits. We've got to get up that heal reduction to get those additional hits. So really, initially, the guy's not that great. He's not that great for knocking down these 12 shields that we have to face off against. He's just not really built for it when you would think he'd be excellent for something like this. And if we're going to get hit, sure, we can get the reflect up. If we're going to plan on being hit, if we go into the Fire Knight and we want to make sure that we take that initial hit and we've got our shields up, it's on a 4-turn cooldown. So will it be up on full auto? You don't know. You never know, and it's not good to plan on beating the Fire Knight, hoping you're going to get hit and do the reflect and then come back and beat him. You can make teams like that. I'm not saying you can't, but it's not the best strategy if you have other options, right? If you've got options out there. Let's take a look at what he's been up to. So he's been coming over here. We got 1 hit there. We've got no increased attack. We do have a decreased defense, no weaken as well. So whatever damage we see him do, remember, he can do more. We could have an increased attack of 50%, which is enormous. Would add a lot of damage to this guy. And a weaken, 25% additional damage would be great as well. What I want to see is when we get to the boss. I want to see what happens when we get to the boss and we see everything unfold. If you got this guy early game, should you book him out? Absolutely not. If you got this guy in game, should you book him out? Absolutely not. His multipliers are so low, it's silly. The additional hits he gets from his A1 when he hits the 3rd and 4th hit are actually way weaker. We'll look at his multipliers in a minute. They're not even as strong as a normal hit. Even if they were as strong as a normal hit, it really would not matter at all. And if you're using him early game for progression, say you need somebody that can give you regens, and I'm talking really early game, right when you start this game, you want somebody that can give you some heals, and then that's basically it, and give you a little bit of damage. You want to play him? Okay, I understand. You don't have anything on your account whatsoever. You want to play this guy to get some regens up and get some reflect up. Go for it. That is fine. We're almost to the boss, so I can show you what I'm talking about with this champion. He just has a kit that is all over the place. There is nothing good about this lordly guy at all. There's not one good selling point that you can tell me on this champion that makes it viable to use anywhere. His multipliers are low. His attack is basic. Because the low multipliers on the 3rd and the 4th hit, when it's so hard to get those hits, it makes it it's laughable. Like, why do you don't even need the 3rd and the 4th hit? Basically what it comes down to, and to even get that condition to get the 3rd and the 4th hit, it's ridiculous to have to bring somebody else in here. Anybody out there who thought this guy was ready for Fire Knight 25, please, Just stop it. Why'd you make me waste my resources is what it comes down to. So this team can take down the shield. Luckily, we have 8 hits on the 2 cold hearts. We got 2 more Terrell. Terrell has turn meter reduction. We got a slow speed. If we didn't get that slow speed right away from his A2, we would have been in trouble. So his A2 came in there. We did 4 hits right now. Now, notice the 3rd and the 4th hit. And this is not a fluke. These are his multipliers. 2 hits are good, and then the other ones are cut in half. His 3rd and 4th hit are half the multiplier of his normal one. The normal multiplier is 1.5 on each of those hits. And then after the 3rd and the 4th are 0.75. That's what it is for his multipliers. That's what he's got. And then even on that A2, it's not a good multiplier. It's high. It's like 5.8, but it's not a 6. It's not a 7. It's like right underneath the 6. 5.8 isn't far off. But when we're talking about his attack not being that great and everything else that he has, it's just a very weird champion. Even if the A3 was a 3-turn cooldown and gave you those regens for 2 turns and reflect for 2 turns, then maybe we could talk a little bit more about him helping you get through the game. Some more coming up. Here we are again with what? Oh, this is us showing us some more damage. We've got Lydia here now. 30, 30, 14, 12. 30, 30. So even if it was 100,000 on the A1, every single time 100,000 on the A1, it's still not crazy. It is not crazy at all, and it drops down so much that it's really weird. It's kind of, it just doesn't make sense. Even if you could get damage out of him, the whole point is that it's really hard to get the multi-hits to get this shield down regardless, because you're not getting those multi-hits until you get that block heal up. And the block heal, the shield has to be down to get that. So by then, it's too late. So really, you're always relying on 2 hits. You're relying on 1 hit on that A2, which he does the A2 when the shield's up regardless. And then you've got your reflect and your regen. The guy's just all over the place. Please do not level him up. We brought him into Dragon just so we could see some more damage. It's actually just the same damage anybody on this 5th I could bring into this team. This is Dragon 24. That way, if you want to farm 24 with him, you can. But anybody, I could 4-man it with this team I'm running. We just want to see the damage. Still, same damage. 35, 35. And then if he gets the other 2 hits, which we don't have them right now, they would be 15 or 12. Right? They'd be 15, 15, 15, 12, something lower, and that would be it. So what do you think? You think it was worth all these books? I didn't really use that many books. I already had multiple copies of him, so I think I used 1 book to make sure I could lower the cooldown on his A3. But I did use the chickens, I did use the pots, I did use energy, and I spent a crap load trying to get through Fire Knight 25 with a decent team using this guy, where he's just not it. Those 2 hits are not enough. He should be 4 hits straight out, especially with the way that the damage goes down. It should be 4 hits no matter what. He should not have a condition to get those 4 hits. I'm not really sure why we've got that condition to get the 4 hits in there anyways when they're going to drop down so much. It should be 4 hits on that and then maybe 3 hits on the A2. We need more people that do multi-hits because now we have 12 on that shield. 21 to 25. We've got 12 shields to take down on Fire Knight. So we need a crazy amount of new champions that do multiple hits. Sad that this champion looks like on paper he'd be good for it, but he's completely terrible for everything in this game. But if I'm wrong, let me know down below. You tell me if I am wrong about Lordly Legionary. This guy does insane damage against that Fire Knight. Well over the cap that somebody at 10% can do. We can do over the 10% cap. 10% of the enemy's max HP. That's only capped on those type of champions, those type of moves. This guy can do well over that. We're talking huge numbers. It's pretty amazing. Got him. Again, another champion you guys got me to level up that I definitely did not need to or want to, but there you have it. I know seeing is believing. Now you know about Lordly Legionary. You're welcome. Thanks all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in a video soon.